Good evening, everyone, and welcome to semi-final night here at Netball SA Stadium in Adelaide. We are here to watch the first semi-final between Victoria and Western Australia in the men's under-23 division. Joining me, myself, Dan Cook, in commentary tonight is Matthew Blomley. Matthew, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this game. 23 and under divisions, always an exciting division. It's a division that we've both coached in the past, both played in the past as well. And I tell you what, this is where you start seeing some true future Opens players.
Yeah, it definitely is an exciting match. These two teams have met once before at the championship before. Victoria coming out winners 53-40. However, this division has been a cracker throughout the whole week. The top four teams definitively pushing each other to the maximum. A few exchanges, a few different teams beating each other. Victoria ending up on top of the ladder. Western Australia getting through the elimination finals earlier today. On the other court as well is Queensland and South Australia, both playing off for a spot in tomorrow's grand final. Matt, do you want to take us through the lineups for both teams before we get this game underway?
Absolutely. Let's start with Victoria. In goal shooter, Ethan Spiteri. Goal attack, Tom Hardwick. Wing attack, Cameron Hughes. Centre, Mania Poto. Wing defence, Hadley Dixon. Goal defence, Tristan Comans. Goalkeeper, Ronan Pring. And I will pass to you to read out the WA one for just a moment.
Yeah, Western Australia at goal shooter is Kahotia. At goal attack is Daniel Perella. In at wing attack is Davis. Centre for Western Australia, Rawlings. Luke Spadano brings up a wing defence, and the brothers at the back in James and Robert King. First turnover there created Victoria flying down the court, however, making their way down. First goal there for Victoria. Fantastic start, just what they would have wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. Come out firing is what was the instruction from Coach Craig Moore. 2 goals, 2-0. That is the exact start they wanted. WA will look at consolidating in these first few minutes of the first quarter. Now, for those people watching at home, just be aware of the fact that Jack Davis, the wing attack for Western Australia, although it does look like he is not that person based on the name on the back of his shirt, he unfortunately may have forgotten, may be missing his shirt, and has to wear a teammate in denim.
Always something that's a bit funny when it happens to your teammate. There, I have had the unfortunate event of leaving one shoe at the hotel accommodation 40 minutes away, running back, seeing it underneath the bed. What a horrible moment that was.
And I've also been in the situation of leaving behind a set of shoes and team manager having to go back and get them whilst I warmed up in my coach's shoes.
Yes.
So we do forgive, especially this age group, for sometimes being forgetful at the end of a long week. But the intensity already absolutely tight from both sides as Ethan Spiteri uses the backspace to score the third goal for Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria off to a cracking start here. 2 turnovers that they're able to pick up, scoring off both of those. Now, just great vision there from Hughes, putting Maniapoto into the pocket. Tom Hardwick driving through the top of the circle, able to sink that one. 4-0 now to Victoria, just the start Craig Moore would have been asking for.
Yeah, absolutely. WA, they need to be patient here and just work themselves into the game. That's what's going to help them be part of it, be ensuring that they're going to win as they get that first goal through.
Yeah, Daniel Perella, just a lovely shot there as a goal attack myself. I like to watch this kid's shot. It is fantastic, nice and high release. Very pretty to see it up in the air. Really quite a textbook type shot.
Yeah, look, there's so many terrific goalers playing throughout all of our aged group divisions, including the likes of Tom Hardwick, a first nationals for him. Beautiful high action, but seeing these kids with their own individual flair and action is what we want to see. That's
Correct.
what 23s is also about, is a bit of excitement.
Now WA with the sideline throw in, bringing the ball through the middle of the court, and it is Perella Maniapoto just with hands in everything at the moment, but the ball into Kahotia for the long range.
Incredible shot.
Fantastic shot on goal there for Western Australia. And now with the centre pass to come as well, looking to bring it back to 1 goal.
Yeah, this is what we expected from WA, is that they would come back after that first couple of minutes. Maybe a little bit of nerves, being finals. They weren't sure how this strong Victorian side was going to go. But beautiful long-range shot, unfortunately rimming out. And finish, oh, lovely.
Yeah, defensive work there from Victoria, just missing, sitting there watching that rebound happen underneath the post. Both Tristan Cummins and Ron Pring really wanting to make sure that they are getting up for every missed shot tonight.
Yeah, they've obviously been clear in their instruction as well that they need to have intensity. They've lacked that in a couple of other games, Victoria, that they didn't have the intensity as expected of this side, that they needed to lift, and as a result, they've had some unfortunate games. It's the type of thing that WA will be looking for to capitalise on, is try and take advantage of those lulls that may come from Victoria.
That's right. Now, Maniapoto just with a shot at taking that one out of the air against Rawlings, wasn't able to keep a hand on it. The ball did spill out over the court, but hands from Victoria. Hadley Dixon, the captain, picks up that one. And Victoria moving through the court. A couple of fumbling errors, but able to keep possession here. Tom Hardwick now will look to settle the team down through that centre corridor.
Yeah, nice patience overall, despite the fumbles from Victoria, but great pressure from WA. They were setting up a slightly offline one-on-one defence. Wasn't quite spatial defence, but allowing themselves a bit of room, but also clogging up space in a tight one-on-one sort of setup. And great hands, unfortunately pulling the contact there. It would be great to see Jack Davis maybe get a little bit more distance and work off that so the contest is a bit clearer. Yeah,
great drive along the goal line there from Hardwick, just to draw the defensive pairing away from Ethan Spiteri, found under the post, sinking that one for Victoria. Now out to a 7-3 lead. Western Australia with the ball, just trying to get themselves over that transverse line.
Yeah, struggling from transverse top of the circle a little bit, as great pressure from both Maniapoto and from Dixon, keeping the top of the circle a really tough spot to get to as we see the feed in and out. Nice patience from Daniel Pereira to open up, and shoots are beautiful.
Yeah, great shot there from Pereira, and Victoria now with the centre pass. And I really think that's an unlucky call for Western Australia. I think Maniapoto actually knocked that one forwards and out of court, but Victoria still with possession of the ball. And good vision there, left 2-on-1 in the circle.
You cannot leave Ethan Spiteri in that backspace. He'll drop beautifully. He's in that hole. Once you've felt him go off your body, you need to drop hard.
Yes. Now Western Australia with the centre pass, trailing 8-4. Passing back through Spadano. And great vision there. But
moving off a little bit too early there, Perala. Footwork called, I do believe that has occurred in the circle, giving the opportunity for WA and taking the opportunity.
Yeah, nice high release from the shot of Pereira. And look, Victoria wanting to probably capitalise on this one.
Just lacking someone driving through, so looking back there, Hardwick, and now we see the connection come through. All footwork, I think it might have been played ball call for Maniapoto there. Just not taking the ball on first attempt, but then comes flying through for an attempt, but leaving a player to hit the top of the circle.
Yeah, just something for him to clean up is that extra run off into the far end of the court. But fantastic jump from Comans and causing the turnover. Victoria now with the ball. Western Australia spilling that out along the sideline.
So lucky on that one as well, not to get called for the obstruction. He did take a little creep in, possibly an inch or two that may have made it slightly less than 3 feet. The umpire didn't see that creep in, allowed him to get a beautiful block and the conversion from Victoria.
A few danger signs there, possibly for Western Australia. Hughes has been able to look into the circle very quickly, finding Spiteri there tonight as Pring comes to drive and take the ball out of the circle, but
it was worth the attempt there from Pring as well.
Yeah.
And the fact that he went for the ball and tried taking the angle rather than going to the body, that's an exciting thing for a guy who's still eligible for 20 and under.
Yeah, fantastic work. Just like lots of the boys out there missing a couple of years of age division play, able to move their way up into the 23s as Spiteri's found on a great drop hold there underneath the post.
Yeah, the double king combination in the circle, just struggling a little bit to find the early ball. They did have a great jump over the shot, and I wouldn't mind seeing them timing that slightly differently, so the double jump does see one up, return down to the ground before the other one's on their way up.
Yeah. Coleman's just giving away the holding penalty, and Perella not able to sink this one.
No, unfortunate shot there, just sliding across the top of the rim. They really do need to be in rebound position for that as well, because you've got two jumpers in defence for Victoria. They're going to have a go at that ball, especially if you've given them room.
Yeah, look, bit of confusion there for Victoria, but they do come up with it. Hardwick and Spiteri going up for the same ball. However, Spiteri pulls that one in, taking the margin out to 5 with the centre pass. Hadley Dixon down along the sidelines, but fantastic work from Robert King, but called. Unfortunately,
I felt like he'd take a great angle on that. That's a reward your keeper ball, that one was. Cam Hughes caught standing still and running backwards just after standstill. It was an incredible read by King.
Yeah, brother James just landing awkwardly on that one, but looking okay at the minute as we see Victoria make their first change for the night. Adam Hooworth coming on into wing attack, replacing Cam Hughes.
Yeah, this will provide a different type of drive for Victoria. He's a bit more active. They'll look at resetting a few times. Cam Hughes probably a bit more direct in his play, but a bit more reserved, I think, is probably the way of looking at patient.
Yeah, beautiful ball from Maniapoto into Spiteri. Just looked straight into the circle, something that might have been missing there from Hoogworth just beforehand.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a bad thing to make a change and keep some energy onto your court. As a coach, they've rolled subs all through the week. Why would you make it any different in finals? The players are used to that now. It gives them a short break and an opportunity to get some coaching instructions and be back out there.
Yeah, as we talk about that change there, Cam Hughes coming back on into centre and was called for not wholly within that centre circle. Did look like probably both feet may have possibly been outside of the circle. Coach killer move.
Especially with the way the rule is now. There's almost zero excuse. I'll give 0.001% of excuse for having a foot outside not wholly in the circle, because you're allowed a foot outside and a foot within.
Yeah, agreed. Maybe accidentally tripping and landing in the wrong spot, I could forgive, but yeah, definitely not the turnover that you want to have, especially while you're trying to increase the margin. WA bringing this one back to 4.
Yeah, WA, if they can keep this intensity with 3.5 minutes to go, they're likely to bring this back level or even push in front. There's plenty of time for them to push in front. At the moment, it's a reasonable scoring game. The ball is moving down both ends quite well, and terrific pick up there from Kahotia.
But Perella just lets it spill out, not able to pick it up. Tristan Comans getting the crumbs there. Really needs to probably help out after he's done all the work out the back, though. And fantastic drive onto the ball from Spadano. The drive from Hoogworth, probably a little shallow.
Yeah, I would have liked to see that a bit sharper, a bit less loopy. That's why that was able to be picked off. Give that a clear change of direction. He's got the speed. You can burn them once you've changed direction, but make it a change of direction.
Yeah, definitely something that Victoria is working on, the location and movement patterns of their juniors moving forward, making sure that there's angle, less of a curve onto the ball.
And sometimes that is, again, a situation of players being a little bit tired at this stage of the week. The mental aspect is so strongly needed, and in the junior division, sometimes a little bit lacking.
Yeah, fantastic front cut from Hardwick, just drawing Robert King off the body, allowing Spiteri to set himself up, getting the ball underneath the post.
And that was a well-needed goal for Victoria. WA found themselves on a run. They found themselves back in the... Oh, almost a superb delivery. Spiteri just timed it not quite right for the jump. If they'd come off, we all would have been praising what was going on, but maybe just a slight force on that.
Yeah, it looks like a nice set play here from Western Australia, getting the ball, clearing the mess in the defensive third and transition. Just a
that
knock.
Unfortunate contact you get when you're trying to get around someone and hedge it. But Comans comes up with the loose ball. Do not let it be on the ground near him. I think Kaotea was not expecting him to come from behind, as another backspace ball to Spiteri comes off, and he's having a ripper.
He is definitely something for Western Australia to think about. How do you change your body position on him? The danger is Tom Hardwick has an amazing front cut.
And we've barely noticed Tom Hardwick so far because we haven't needed to notice him. He's done his job by getting the ball to Spiteri.
Yeah, create the options there. Every great goal attack, when there's a strong goal shooter in there, just wants to make sure the ball gets in through the ring.
Terrific patience here from WA. Even though there's just over a minute to go, some teams may rush this. These guys have taken their time, looking at working it through as a beautiful feed from Davis comes, and just not finding the fingers on that shot.
Yeah, opportunity maybe to get himself closer to the post, but WA do retain possession with the throw-in. However, into the hands of Pring, mopped up by Comans as Victoria fly through the court. Again, another one from Spadano, just getting a hand to it, forcing it out over the sidelines. He's done a couple of those so far in the first quarter.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the way he's attacking it. As someone who's played a bit of wing defence, I love seeing someone have a go, but how tight he is the rest of the time. It's not all about the intercepts in wing defence. Even though he's attempted a few, he's putting that pressure on, making it difficult to get to the top of the circle. Sometimes that is all a wing defence needs to do. Stop the wing attack from getting that priority feeding position.
Yeah, and missed shot there coming from Victoria. Huguev goes offside, just trying to retain possession. WA now with the ball. No time left and a long option, but that does bring us to the end of the first quarter in this semi-final clash. Winner off to the grand final to play the winner of Queensland and SA on court 2. It is quarter time in the under-23s division, and Victoria leading Western Australia 15 goals to 9.
Thanking our weekly sponsor, Harrison's Kitchens. Looking for a new kitchen, a fresco kitchen, or a custom joinery item? Harrison's Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 20 years this year. 20 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Kitchens and joinery. All budgets, many material options with many special rates for the South Australian netball community. Look them up on Facebook, Instagram, or search up www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.
Welcome back to this semi-final under-23s match between Victoria and Western Australia. It is the 2020 AMMNA Men's and Mixed Netball National Championships coming to you from Netball SA Stadium here in tonight what is cold Adelaide.
This is not the Adelaide I came here for. This chilly. But But I tell you what, cold Adelaide's not a bad Adelaide when it comes to the championships because it means the humidity's not playing a role in any of the court action.
Yeah, very true. Now, a fantastic first quarter from Victoria. 6-goal lead, leading 15 goals to 9 as we're about to get underway. There is an update there from the other game, that is Queensland and South Australia. Queensland with a 12-goal lead, 20-8, will play the winner of this one. Great start here from Victoria, getting the ball to circle edge through Hoogworth and off to Hardwick, who has almost what's possibly one of the first shots he's had all night so far. Lots of the goals scored by Ethan Spiteri so far.
Yeah, look, the fact that he's only put up a couple of shots, I'd say maybe that might have been his first. I can't actually recall him putting up another shot. It says a lot about how this game's gone. This is an opportunity of learning for goalers as well, where sometimes you need to work your other goaler into the game, especially early on. Get them to get a touch, get them to get a feel, just so they've had that shot. So when opportunities come up late in the game, they've had that feel.
Yeah, we just saw a nice little chairlift from Victoria, causing a held ball as they begin to fly through the court. Transition has been great so far tonight. Maniapoto opening up the court on the far side, but unable to deliver a ball. Spadano with another touch.
Spadano is in everything. You've got to deliver that ball well when you go on top of the circle. Also, as a wing attack, waiting for that feed, get ball side where you can. Try not to be on the opposite side, or indicate maybe you want it over a little bit further initially so they know where to put it.
Yeah.
You can't let hands be part of the action.
Agreed. Now, Maniapoto has returned to the court. I think he just came back on at the end of the last quarter anyway. No changes to either side realistically in this one. Maniapoto read it but passed.
Read it days ago, and unfortunately, because he read it days ago, he was so far ahead of it that all he could do is throw back his Ronan Pring just slightly late on that attempt there with Daniel Pereira.
And a nice shot there from Pereira in to it, just bringing the margin back to 6. 2 minutes into this second term, and Victoria just able to find space once again in the back of the court. Spiteri open again at the back.
Yeah, Spiteri was able to find the space, sit off Robert King as he was attempting a ball that high, which caught him well out of action. You've got to be still aware of where your shooter is in that case, as Pring goes flying through the circle. Great intercept, great hands. As this tournament's gone on, he's really found his timing.
Correct.
King again.
Yeah. Pereira really needed to block Pring out, stopping the defender, but Coleman seeing the long ball coming, tipping that one out of court, running into the Western Australian bench.
Yeah, these boys, some of the attempts that they can keep in from sidelines are incredible. You've got to give them the opportunity to do it. It's great when the umpires did exactly that. Don't assume, wait till a foot's actually across or a hand has hit the ball out of court.
Yeah, correct, Matthew. Something we were both probably lacking is some form of speed on the netball court.
I disagree back in the day, but maybe certainly in the last couple of years, the head has taken it over from the legs. There was speed at times, and I definitely remember you having speed at the right times.
I don't know about that. Great movement there. Adam Hoogworth finding himself right at the top of the circle, feeding the ball in to Spiteri. Something that has improved in the beginning of this quarter is letting that ball go in. Must be a word from Craig Moore, just reminding Hoogworth that Spiteri is on. And unfortunately, Western Australia spilling that ball out along the transverse. Davis unable to keep his hands on that ball as Victoria moves through. Hadley Dixon able to keep it in play. Maniapoto backing up well. And Victoria trying to get through. Oh, that killer movement. Bounce pass. Maniapoto jump into the air.
I think they need to look at cleaning up their attack. A few rush ones, a few step-ons. Someone needs to take that moment to settle. Say to the rest of the team, hey guys, let's go back to our structure. Run that for a couple of centre passes, run that couple of out of courts. That'll make such a difference. Hadley Dixon, always going to attempt it, even with the great attempt there from Jack Davis.
And Maniapoto, great vision there on that border post. Something that certainly improved in his game over the last couple of years as he's transitioned out of that defensive end into the mid-court is just his ability to look into the post.
Yeah, it can be difficult for some of the junior players when they've been a circle defender moving into the mid-court to capitalise on that attacking aspect of the game, but he's really finding that at the moment.
Yeah. Kahotia with the throw-in and throws
just miscommunication with Connor Rawlins.
And I think that also comes from the pressure inside the circle as to where is everyone going. If you're not sure, it does make it quite difficult as the towel comes out. Someone's been on the floor.
Yeah, look, eye contact's so crucial between goalers and their mid-court. But the other thing is once you build a rapport between, you know what that other player is going to do anyway. Maybe these players just haven't had the chance to build that combination as strongly as they would like. That will come for them.
Yeah, Petrina Pehe will not be very happy with that throw-in call as Victoria regain possession. Tom Hardwick moving himself into the circle with the refeed. Double jump from Western Australia, but Tom Hardwick sinking that shot for Victoria. Now the lead is out to 10.
Now, that is where Hoogworth does get caught out at times. When he does that step on, the vision narrows. He stepped on and saw no option but the long ball. That's also where teammates need to recognise and connect. Oh, that was a beautiful little hold by Kahotia. Maybe using the armbar slightly, but also using his body so strongly, using his chest, waiting, turn. But he needs to find post again.
Yeah. Oh.
Nearly incredible save and shot from Hardwick. Look, those ones look good after you see them, but capable of settling.
Yeah, definitely is something that we do see in the 23s division, along with some of the other junior divisions, is that big rush of blood when you're on the fly. Athletic boys moving through the court nice and quickly, and sometimes you're just not able to take it. But ball up in the air. Ryan Pring steals it.
Yeah. WA need to start dictating a little bit more through defence. At the moment, they're chasing. They're waiting for the Victorian player to make their move. If they can keep some formation, if they can go back to that tight one-on-one that they were playing earlier, where they were clogging up space, but on their players, they really kept that top of the circle out of action. I feel that that's what they need to go back to. Maybe it's a bit of tired legs, maybe it's a little bit of inexperience, but a good conversation that I think the coach needs to have with them.
Yeah, 11 goals currently the margin. We are just about to be midway through the second term. And Western Australia with possession, but hands on the outside, an obstruction call here from the umpire.
And that was great work by Ronan Pring, one half of the High Pony twins in the circle for Victoria. Just worked his body around. Great example of keep working your feet and then you can get a hand to it cleanly, which means there's potentially a turnover. Callum Baird now on a goal attack, replacing Tom Hardwick. Another bigger body, but gee, he can move.
Yeah, can move there. And then nice feed into Spiteri, setting himself up, really finding it easy to the post at the moment, Victoria.
Yeah, they've had some great passage of play through Victoria. But I think it's this transition ball is where they're absolutely burying in WA at the moment. WA need to slow up that transition. It'll help stop and give their floating defenders a chance of having them here. You've got hunters, you've got people who are willing to have a fly at the ball. It will bring the likes of Spandano back into the action.
Yeah, so great poise there shown from Maniapoto, just able to steady on the fly, deliver the ball in for Victoria. Victoria still with the centre pass. Haven't spoken much about Captain Hadley Dixon at the moment, as he did have the ball there, but he has been solid also, really stopping the drive of Western Australia in that defensive end.
I think the thing with Hadley Dixon is he's mostly gone unnoticed, and again, that's something great for a wing defence. Hasn't attracted much whistle. His wing attack also hasn't touched much of the ball in Jack Davis. So if Davis can lift his intensity, maybe that'll force some more contacts, some more obstructions as we see a call against Hadley Dixon.
Yeah. Perella opens up nicely and long range shot there just to sink that one through. This quarter score 6 goals to 4 in the way of Victoria, but WA looking to decrease that margin once again. Maniapoto hand to ball again. But Davis able to put that in to Perella. Shot on goal here. Tristan Coman's put out of play for obstruction, and lovely swish through the centre of the ring, dropping the margin back to 10.
I'm so pleased to see him going back to post, Daniel Pereira. These now putting up those shots that we saw earlier. This is what's going to keep them in the game. This is what's going to force Victoria to make some changes the way they're playing their defence if we're putting those long chops up. And our boy Luke Spardano, sorry, I keep putting an N in there that's not there. I do apologise, and my pronunciation is probably terrible, but gets another set of hands. That is great pressure around the circle. Not an easy thing to do on the edge without drawing a penalty.
Yeah, Victoria really trying to play some trademark triangles that they are known for. Didn't come off that time. Spardano arms in it, but unfortunately Western Australia not able to convert the transition down the court, losing that ball over the goal line.
With Kaotia's pass then, if he had put it rather than towards post and the goal line, he could have put it just out in front of Pereira, who had a clear front hole.
Yeah, Calamed just running really lateral across the court, doing a lot of movement, maybe not for a lot of result. Might want to drop, just make it slightly shorter, more specific. Spiteri spilling that out over the base.
Look, I appreciate the attempt from Spiteri on the sideline there. If you're going to go around your back to keep it in, maybe think about which hand you're doing that with, because threw it straight across the goal line. Long ball out from King. We are seeing Rawlins starting to have a little bit more of an impact through the midcourt as he gets more touches. He needs to do more as a captain there, though, I think, just to help get his team in and amongst it.
Yeah, trying to make the attempt to penetrate through the middle. Smart body position from Perella, causing the penalty, sinks the goal as well. Bringing the margin back to 9, just 3.5 minutes left in this first half.
3.5 minutes is enough to get this back to 5, 4, something achievable.
Yeah, definitely. Even just back to 7 or 8 would be helpful. Or a hand in, but picked up by the umpire here. Davis with the ball on the outside of the circle. Kahotia throws it out across to Rawlings. And possession call.
I think she called contact on that one. Obviously, really clear position on the goal line. We didn't see where there was arms involved. They need to be ripped in. Kahotia probably wanted a little bit more bounce on that, so it didn't have to reach down as far. But again, your feeds need to be thought about a little bit differently. Where's the person holding? Where do they actually want it? And I think in that case, probably around and into the guts.
Yeah, nice ball in from Western Australia, and Perella puts that ball through, back to 8 goals, the margin. Victoria really do need a settler on this next centre pass.
Yeah, there's been a couple of goals in a row for WA. That is terrific for them as they are looking at consolidating going into the halftime break. Victoria need to keep their feet.
Oh.
Great effort by Robert King. Couldn't quite bring it in. Mopped up by Callum Baird. The King boys just not quite being able to get their hands as cleanly as they wanted onto it. They were able to have a bit of a moment there, looking at each other to enjoy it at least.
Or step call there on James King in the middle of the court. Umpire just setting the penalty here. Not the greatest ball from Hadley Dixon, but Callum Baird gets the tip. Maniapoto picks that one back up, and a nice double play with him and Spiteri.
Oh, just an overshoot from Spiteri. It might not be a bad thing to consider bringing him off for a couple of minutes just to settle. Again, find his rhythm, especially just with the change. You've got Baird there. You've still got options on the bench for goaling. I think they'd be fine with a slight change and they'll settle. Just getting caught in behind there, Comans. Unable to... Perez so strong through there, you don't want to give him the front space. He's going to take that ball.
Yeah. Agreed with that. Just want to make sure that he's getting off the body when he's having a crack at that ball over in the back space instead of through the body. But Kahotia puts that one away. And great work from King to knock possession into the hands of Western Australia. Margin is at 8. WA looking to get that ball through the court with Rawlings and throws
Amazing ball.
The ball up to Barilla. And a chairlift there, obstruction call, sinks it anyway. Margin back to 7. 40-odd seconds remaining left in this first half. Spot in the grand final of the under-23s division on the line.
WA traditionally were quite strong in this division for a number of years. That's where a whole pile of their opens players over the last 10 years have come from. If they can keep pushing through here, it'll keep them as that strong side for the future.
Yeah, correct there. Fantastic shot from Kahotia.
Victoria with plenty of time to still extend this lead. A terrific backspace ball again. Ethan Spiteri got to rip those ones in.
Yeah, just something you need to remember, especially as a junior, even up into the senior ranks. You cannot pull the ball in if you cannot reach it.
Exactly right. Sometimes don't assume that the ball's in your hands until it's in your hands. What a terrific second quarter. WA came out firing. They came out strong. Victoria able to push it out early, pegged it back.
Yeah, really impressive from Western Australia, able to change the momentum in this game. Now it is halftime in this semi-final clash at Netball SA Stadium in Adelaide. 1 half to go. Join us. It is currently Victoria leading Western Australia 25-19.
In sport, there are the elite, the ones who give their all for a place at the top. They are the ones who rise to the occasion.
The 2019 Men's Open Australian Championships.
This is exactly what we wanted, putting men's netball on the map.
There's so many people that have come before us, there's so many people that are going to come after us, but we're part of that foundation, you know, we're building it to be whatever it becomes.
You have to put your heart on the line, and you have to be a team person first.
That was not good enough to me, and you shouldn't accept it as good enough for you. Get on one-on-one.
Yeah, imagine a female then being told, well, sorry, you can't play AFL or you can't play cricket past this age. You'd certainly hear about it.
We continue to work so that no other 12-year-old boy has to hear that ever again.
Welcome back to the semi-final playoff for a spot in the grand final tomorrow in the under-23s division. It is Victoria versus Western Australia at the 2022 Men's and Mixed Netball Championship. This is the under-23s division that we are watching right now. And in the break, in case you missed it, the preview to documentary on Australian men's netball. What a fantastic story it will be. The first Australian documentary about men's netball. Follow the dedication, the commitment of the teams and their journey to the national championships. The story coming out fairly soon. Now, joining myself once again in the second half, Matthew Blomley. Fantastic finish to the first half from Western Australia. Your thoughts?
It was a fantastic finish from Western Australia. They started to find some rhythm. They were having some attempts. The goaling range was coming back. They were getting much better feed. Their defense started picking up a little bit. But if they can keep that going, they're more than in this game. The margin is practically nothing. 6 goals, 3 turnovers, easily matched up again. I think there were some clear instructions for them to go to post.
Yeah, very, very true there. Also, just a quick change there. Something that you called was Cam Baird moving back into the goal shooter position for Victoria. Hardwick back on at goal attack. Just unfortunately an error there to Western Australia, but we also see Cam Hughes return to the court at wing attack for Victoria in this second half as well. And changes for WA, does not look like we have anything on the court. So Petrina Pehi happy with the second quarter from Western Australia.
Yeah, I can imagine that absolutely would be. It's been a terrific quarter. Unless there's been change from the King brothers, we are a bit further away than the people on the camera, and our eyesight is going a little bit. But they're a terrific combination down there, so see them have a bit more of a hunt. WA need to keep this going, need to keep some momentum. They've got to score the start of this quarter, though. They've had chances.
Yeah, great work there in entering the circle from Kahotia and puts the shot up. Not able to put it through. Well done from Victoria trying to get that ball, however, mopped up by Davis.
Terrific take there, Palau. And nice, easy goal in. Sometimes I do wonder with this court, because it's got the setup for the super netball on there, that players may get thrown a little bit when they see they're in the super shot range, that they don't realise that most of them can shoot from certainly the edge of that and from closer.
Yeah, possibly we see the Suncorp super shot there visibly on the netball court for the championship this week. Does give you a good perspective of how far out that super shot in Suncorp Super Netball actually is.
And I may have said this in one of the other live streams, but Suncorp, feel free to come aboard to men's netball. You will not regret it. As Victoria managed to cause a turnover once again, Anthony Manapoto with his trademark little give and go. Feed going a little bit low for Baird, but still able to bring it in. Scores goal for Victoria. We are now sitting at 4 goals to 1 with 11 minutes, 50 seconds to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, and just in case you are wanting to know the score on the other court currently between Queensland and South Australia. South Australia have decreased the margin. It is 32 goals to 24, so another close one over there as well for a playoff to meet the winner of this game.
WA with more opportunities here to keep progressing. They've got to score a few more though. Yeah, struggling with that drive from the centre circle, transverse top of the circle. Yeah, I feel like if Pereira's not coming up to help, they have been struggling a little bit.
Yeah, definitely some great work from Victoria, really causing some issues right now at the start of this third quarter. Able to get the ball into Tom Hardwick. Fantastic change of direction off the line, opening himself up, really clearing the space. Manipoto top of the circle, and Hardwick flying in there. Not my favourite landing ever to see the goal attack run into the circle like that, but...
And for some history for that. That is because Daniel here did his ACL and various other injuries at times.
Yeah,
from
two
some of those landings.
ACLs to myself, a couple more within my household, so very much not a fan of bad landings.
A terrific rebound, Cullen. They've got to start finishing here. Shots are falling short. Says a little bit about their action. They may be leaning back a little bit on it, as opposed to staying in the slightly more upright that both these goalers naturally have.
Yeah, definitely something that does come over the course of the week sometimes, as well as you start to get tired. You want to make sure that you're pushing the ball in the right direction. A little bit of a lean forward just to get that momentum going.
And as we say that, Tom Hardwick goes exactly back into that shooting action, denying the opportunity for WA to get a rebound there after King drew the penalty, despite the reasonable looking attempt.
And Rawlings just looked like he's pulling up a little short now, maybe a little bit of an injury. WA throw the ball away, and Victoria through the court with Manipoto onto Hardwick, down to Hughes, finding Baird under the post and able to sink the goal, extending this lead out to 13 goals. Nice and quick. We've gone from 6 to 13 in the space of 5 minutes, Matt.
It's been incredible from Victoria to push it out like that. WA were looking great at the start of that quarter, of this quarter rather. They were getting the ball into the circle, they're getting opportunities. They didn't convert the goals when they needed to. This margin could be very different at this point in time had they sunk those early goals. Very crucial in a quarter to build momentum. Sink a couple of those ones, all of a sudden you're back in it.
Yeah, now making it very hard to get themselves back into this game. Great shot, though, from Perella, able to put the ball, one that WA definitely needed on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well within his range as well, on the edge of the current 1 point range, but every goal in this competition is 1 point, as maybe it should be. That's a whole different argument. But it is great to see goalers shooting from anywhere inside that circle.
Yeah, a little bit of a change here in the setup from Victoria. We saw Spiteri throughout the first half sitting in the back space. However, Cam Baird, he does like the front, has got a whole heap of ball through that front channel. A great little mix-up there from Coach Craig Moore.
Yeah, Baird drives very differently to Spiteri. Spiteri waits for things to come and starts planning ahead of time, often in backspace. Baird, he comes to bring it into the action. He will drive to the ball, connect, and then look at driving back in. Yeah. Different styles, both equally as effective.
Yeah, and just probably called it. You can see Frost on the sideline waiting to come in at centre to replace Rawlings. Does look like Rawlings might be slightly sore from a movement before. WA, though, back to 12 goals now with the centre pass. And Hardwick at the ball, not able to pull that one in. WA retaining possession.
This is a great opportunity for WA, having caused that turnover, scoring the goal, and unfortunately unable to convert, unable to get rebound position. I think there's a little bit of tight body. They've got to find some energy again.
Yeah, definitely need some energy. This could be the last couple of quarters for your championship. You want to be in that grand final tomorrow. But Victoria swing the ball across the court, finding Cam Baird on a nice little split.
10 goals to 3 this quarter for Victoria. Unfortunately, not looking down the court, looking back, because that's a tough ball to pass as well as receive.
Yeah, it is. Like just the ability to get some control. That will come over time for Hughes.
Get the shoulders down the court would be the coaching tip that no doubt he'll receive for that one. Look down, connect down. There are guys who want to be on the end of it. Lovely finish there from Kehotia. With WA, another chance to consolidate and go 2 in a row.
That's right. Now, Roy's back, looking like he wants to come back on the court at wing attack to replace Jack Davis. WA with the ball. Davis on the outside, delivers it to Frost, but some loose hands, and looks like it is an offside call there against Dixon inside the circle. Kaotia,
lovely
backhand.
Behind the it gave it terrifically to space. It was well controlled. Unfortunately, can't get the shot in. Pulled down by Comans. Goes for the little 1-2, or should I say long 1-2. Maniapoto looking at finding someone, connecting to edge of circle, not afraid to give a feed from there.
Yeah, that's probably a spot that Maniapoto could look at improving sometimes when he is on the fly, is just looking in to circle instead of going through the outside with the quick ball. It does open up. That fake could work really wonders, especially when you have a front hold just like that one from Baird.
Yeah, terrific front hold, Baird. Really gave every opportunity for his feeders to find him. Robert King unfortunately caught him behind, maybe unsure how to get around or work around that. See Ronan Pring come flying through the circle. Nice clean intercept. Got to clean up the ball movement though.
Yeah, what has been great from Victoria is just a little bit of separation. Not separation there, but the rest of the quarter has been fantastic. Goal attack, drive, but goes offside at
just
the
sneaks
end.
offside. He did his best to stay on, best to stay in court and keep the ball, but the landing just finding in the opposite goal third. We found King wanting a little bit there, James King, needing to drive, keep driving through. WA really need that from Spandano and King to get through the court. Attempting the ball from the ground is the call from Ronan Pring. Perhaps some awareness. That's a bit of the youth where Maniapoto would have had that ball cleanly.
Yeah, correct, Joe. The ball spilling out off the back there. Victoria with the rebound, now looking to bring the ball through the court. Maniapoto just a bit slow onto the ball, but able to retain possession. However, Hardwick flying through into the circle.
Very lucky on that one.
I agree.
I really feel like that should have been caught by Hardwick, and he managed to get hands to tap it out. But we'll take that ball if you're Victoria, well and truly, until the umpire says otherwise.
Yeah. Hardwick with the nice swish through goal for Victoria, taking this margin now out to 15 goals, not the quarter for Western Australia that they would have been hoping for. Victoria now on the charge, 9 goals added on this quarter. Hardwick, fantastic, nice, easy shot there.
Oh, incredible shot from Hardwick. That's what we've seen from him throughout trainings and through some exhibition matches. Great to see him now putting that on court at the right time of the week.
Yeah, Tom Hardwick also doing a fantastic job in Victoria's AMMNA League Grand Final. Was our commentary's player of the match as well. Was fantastic that night. Oh, unfortunate.
I'm not sure what Ronan Pring saw there, but somehow he saw blue where there was yellow. But that's where WA were able to mop it up, and look at them now back on circle edge, well within range of Perella. Finishing with a beautiful shot. Got to go back through him, find him. They've got plenty of time to peg this back. I've said that a number of times across a number of games, but it is so true.
Yeah.
We've been part of sides who have done that.
Yeah, 12, 14, 15 goal margin sometimes in one quarter isn't the end of the game, but Victoria, whilst they're in this mood of having free flow, really going to be hard to chase down.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you've got some momentum like that, it is difficult. The advantage of this Victorian side is that they've rotated through a good group of 10 players. They don't have the 12 like some other sides may have had, which has enabled them to keep some solid combinations constantly on court. They've still got opportunity for fresh legs to come off the bench.
Yeah, Dixon just chasing that one down fantastically. Maniapoto now on the drive. Needs to deliver that one flat instead of bouncing it, especially without the drive on to the ball. But Victoria finding Baird under the post, sinking another goal.
Again, Robert King, get your feet around, get front, give you the opportunity to have a fly at that. If you find yourself stuck in behind, keep working your feet, put a little bit more doubt in the mind of the feeders.
Yeah, great feed from Hardwick into Baird. They're just over the top of King. We do have a change on at goal defence for Western Australia.
And excuse us as we try and clearly see the name. It is difficult from where we are looking. It is Callum Darch by the look of it.
It is.
Now, I hope I pronounced that vaguely correctly. It is dark up here on the reading, and my glasses aren't as clear as I would like.
Baird just missed Dark with the contest, gets possession for Western Australia. Now, definitely a chance just to keep themselves in the game here. You'd want to look at bringing this one through the court. Bit flat there from Spadano, unable to be found with the drive, but great cutback from Darch. Frost offering as an outlet ball. Perella now nice and high through the middle of the court. As Victoria make a change, Hugworth comes back on for Hughes, but great movement there from Western Australia as Perella finishes. Just 30 seconds to go in the quarter. It is Victoria's centre pass there. Victoria now looking to score on this one. Hugworth unsure where to go to, but finds Maniapoto, who looks straight in to Baird, and Baird dribbles that one just
Very
over.
forgiving ring that one was. It appeared to hit the front of the ring, but somehow the spin on it allowed to go. That would have been a terrific ball into goal shooter Kaiotia from Kyle Frost. Saw it, just didn't quite get the release, and that's a touch because he's probably only been on for that couple of minutes, hasn't had a lot of touch.
That's right. Unfortunately, there for Western Australia, unable to put the ball through the ring. Now it is 3-quarter time. Victoria have just pushed the lead out from 6 goals now to 18, a 12-goal margin in the third quarter. Craig Moore will be ecstatic with the result for Victoria. Now 3-quarter time, it is Victoria leading 43-25.
Thanking our weekly sponsor, Harrison's Kitchens. Looking for a new kitchen, a fresco kitchen, or a custom joinery item? Harrison's Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 20 years this year. 20 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Kitchens and joinery. All budgets, many material options with many special rates for the South Australian netball community. Look them up on Facebook, Instagram, or search up www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.
And welcome back. It is 3-quarter time here at Netball SA Stadium in Adelaide. You are watching the final term now about to begin of this first semi-final between Victoria and Western Australia in the men's under-23 division at the 2020 AMMNA Men's and Mixed National Championship. What a quarter there from Victoria, just extending the lead from 6 out to 18 goals. Victoria, Anthony Maniapoto kicking us off at the beginning of this quarter, and unfortunately spilling that one out along the sideline. Western Australia bringing the ball in through King, now across to Darch, now struggling to look like they're going to have some issues getting back through the Victorian press as it does go out across the sideline. Frost unable to pull that long ball in. Now, in case you are wondering who, it looks like Victoria might come out of this one on top, but who will they play in tomorrow's match? Well, currently it is 43-30 the way of Queensland. South Australia will be looking to improve that one there. Tune into Court 2 if you'd like to keep track of that one at the moment. Now, Matthew Blomley joins me in commentary. Victoria just piled on the goals that last quarter.
They really did. WA looked the goods at the start of the quarter. They were finding themselves in the circle. They were finding feeds. They were hitting the top of the circle. Just unable to convert. Just need to see a little bit more from both goalers early, and that would have helped WA. But they've still got enough fight to keep coming back at this game.
Yeah, very true there. The ball sitting with Kahotia at the moment, crossing the circle across to Frost, but delivers a ball. And Pring taking the intercept for Victoria. And now on the fly, Hoogworth with a fumble of the ball, but Hardwick pulls it in. Umpire made a possession call there for Hardwick and sinks it. Nice little slap on each other. Sorry for the tussle, really.
Yeah, good sportsmanship shown by the players here. And what you've got to realise with competitions like this when you're playing teams, sometimes 2-3 times with the final series as well as round games, that players do get to know each other on and off the court, build a great camaraderie. The sportsmanship is terrific.
Yeah, sportsmanship here this week has been fantastic throughout many of the grades. Fantastic to see the work. It has been a long time coming. First championship for 3 years because of COVID. So happy to be here in Adelaide. Well done to South Australia on running the championship this week as Victoria flying through the court again. Hoogworth changing directions, moving it across once again. Maniapoto down in the pocket, but King gets his body in the way. Tom Hardwick called for the penalty.
Yeah, Tom Hardwick got to think about his angles on entry here. That'll make a big difference for that track less penalty if you can. Terrific feed in for WA. Looking to finish. Kahotia, beautiful in towards the post. Both obstructing there, Victoria's defenders. Victoria now with the centre pass. Just looking through. WA trying to fill up the top of the circle with hands. Plenty of hands. Baird.
Or
not
James
quite finding
King.
the body. James King was terrific on that one. Or was it Robert King, sorry?
No, James King with the black shoes, we've been told.
Ah, right. So maybe, look, thank you, WA, for clarifying that with us via some comments. We do appreciate it. It is difficult sometimes for us to get which of the Kings is correct. Terrific attempt from both Pring and Dixon there. Just slightly off balance, Pereira.
Reset on the shot. Fantastic. Nice high release there. And crowd on WA's bench going, or just behind it, going wild, trying to keep the support running for the WA boys.
And I have no doubt those boys appreciate the support from their comrades from their men's open team, who unfortunately were knocked out by Victoria earlier today.
Knocked out by Victoria probably about 3 to 4 hours ago. They're looking for a little bit of revenge. Unfortunately, looking like it may not come in this match. But Kahotia, nice little front cut just to jump in front of Comans. And Comans just called for shortening his distance within 3 feet.
And what we have seen for Victoria is Callum Baird finding himself on the bench briefly before putting on a goal defence bid and about to return. Ethan Spiteri back in goal shooter. Clearly they want to try a couple of different things. Callum Baird does play both ends.
Yeah, fantastic for the youngster to be able to play in at both ends. Very useful possibly in a team.
And especially an active body like that who can move, has a little bit of size, works to your advantage. I love seeing someone who can move like that.
An interesting possession call there. Great work from Hadley Dixon just to knock the ball on. Maniapoto on the fly. I reckon that might have been a footwork call. Wasn't called there on Maniapoto, but finds Spiteri able to sink that one, pushing the margin now out to 20. Just 10 minutes remaining. Does look like Western Australia will wrap up their under-23s tournament here tonight. Victoria move on to the grand final.
It was terrific to see Spiteri come on again from the bench, but cool, calm and collected in his approach. You had the fly through of Tom Hardwick going at absolute pace, but then chilled in shooter, which is sometimes exactly what you need.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you there, Matt. Nice and calm return to the court from Spiteri here. Kahotia with the ball, a nice swing across. Perella nicely set up underneath, but vision not to the post from Western Australia. It's Davis on the outside, finding Kahotia.
Look good off the hand, Kahotia.
It did. Great steady there from Victoria, but throwing the ball out along the goal line.
And that was a good recovery from Spadano as he had driven up the court, created a lot of pressure, may have got the initial ball go away from him, but he found himself immediately on circle edge, able to be part of the contest.
Yeah, correct. And great work there, keeping the ball in court. It is Rawlings in at wing attack, retaining possession. Great swing there from Perella, finding Kahotia now under the post. Margin back to 19 now for Western Australia. And an unfortunate breaking call here on WA. Just making the turnover was Luke Spadano, just out, bit eager on the line to help out.
Obviously seen that they need some help with some drive, someone coming forward, wanting to be a part of it. Just a little bit too early across the line. Never ideal for a break from behind. As we see Spiteri with a little tap to keep it in, Maniapoto then forcing, well, not forcing, placing the ball beautifully, I should say, over to Spiteri in the backspace, which he's used incredibly today. Yeah,
Maniapoto has been great at putting the ball in to Spiteri straight away, not having any hesitation. Great work there from Spiteri. Now, Victoria.
With 7 minutes to go, Victoria will want to push out this lead, but at the same time, they know they've got a game tomorrow.
Yeah, correct.
They've got a game early tomorrow. It's a grand final that they will be keen to be amongst. Well, they are going to be amongst, I should say, but in terms of keen to be amongst the action of it, and that's ensuring you don't have tired bodies, as we see Pereira sinking another shot from the range that we've seen all night from him.
Yeah, correct there, Matthew. Now, Victoria moving the ball out to the sideline through Hardwick. Cam Baird used as a back option, but able to find circle edge Victoria, and nice little goaler-to-goaler from Hardwick. Spiteri with the mess, but cleans up his own rebound and now puts that ball through the ring. Victoria by 21. There is just 6 minutes remaining. It will be the end of Western Australia's time here at the 2022 Men's Netball Nationals.
And looking across to Court 2, where the other final is taking place, we're seeing 52 as a score literally ticks over for us, 2:37. Queensland will be the ones going to the big dance over there.
Yeah, look, fantastic little game that will be on tomorrow. It is there for you to tune in, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, one of the last games of the championship. I personally cannot wait for it. 23s have had some cracker grand finals in the past. Looking forward to this one coming up tomorrow.
Especially Victoria Queensland 23s finals. There have been some incredible ones over the years. Some absolute crackers, as you said. Could be anyone's game. Victoria hoping to finish this one strongly. Queensland hoping to finish that strongly. Both going in 0-0 tomorrow.
Yeah, Victoria did finish top of the table, however, did drop a game to Queensland. So this one could be an interesting one tomorrow, but we now have the last 5 minutes of this match to get through. Tom Hardwick, lovely drive across the circle, high shot, and doesn't get it to roll in. King with the rebound. But Maniapoto, that defensive skill, fantastically taken through the air.
Fantastically taken and stumbled and fumbled, but kept it in court, kept himself in court. Couldn't fault it, considering all of that.
Yeah, definitely another improvement from him is just his balance on the court. That is important. Hopefully able to continue with that for the rest of the match. And great hold from Kahotia, found by Rawlings under the post, sinks. Another one for Western Australia.
And that's what we saw early in the game from Kahotia, was that beautiful hold, demanding it, finding himself some range, putting up the shots. Unfortunate that it's taken this long to find it again.
Yeah, I think that's also been a little bit of a difference between the two match styles tonight. Just the second quarter looking confident for Western Australia. However, the rest of the match, Victoria seeming extremely confident in their delivery of ball.
Yeah, I think it's been one of the keys as we see another terrific baseline move from Kahotia.
Oh,
unfortunately, going across the goal line. Yeah, I think it had to do with when he pivoted, where it actually pivoted across. But better ball delivery on that one.
Yeah, fantastic ball movement here from Victoria. We find Hugwev on the circle edge. Darch with the touch. Spiteri knocks it out over the baseline. Umpire calls Western Australia throw in.
Yeah, Spiteri may be hoping that he might have got some hands onto it. I do apologise, I'm saying yeah a lot when I'm responding to you. It shows how tired we're getting. We've watched a great day of netball, been so many incredible matches. It can be hard to find our words.
And a pick up there from Victoria, but turned over straight away. Rawlings now with the free pass and gives that one off to Davis. Jack Davis there off in the pocket now. An opportunity maybe for Perella to be a little stronger with his body controlling that middle channel, but does end up with the ball under the post.
Found himself leaning slightly to the right on the shot. The only reason that one missed. What I would have liked to have seen from Davison, even though the ball came off the circle to Rawlings, was to come back immediately on that delivery. Hold that space still, Rawlings deliver it straight back. Sometimes that's all you need, to go straight back to the same spot. All of a sudden the goalers will open.
Yeah, correct. And the good thing for Western Australia, some of these boys still really young, a lot of future and potential in the under-23s for Western Australia. Something for them to look forward to as Maniapoto comes through with the hand and the delivery, wipes his face clean, but Hardwick with the shot, not able to sink it and knocking it out of court. Western Australia throw in.
Bit frustrated with the strong box out there from Dutch. Dutch managed to find the body cleanly, which forced the ball to go backwards and then forward.
Yeah, Western Australia really struggling through that transition, just a lack of strong definitive moves. However, Rawlings, great drive to the circle edge. Kahotia, not able to put the ball up over Pring.
Pring timed that incredibly. He had it on the 2.5, 3, went to go up for it. But we're returning to talking about these WU players having the youth and ready to go. They've got a home national championships coming up, Australian championships.
Correct.
In Perth next year. They've been waiting for that for quite a while. originally scheduled for the other year, Adelaide.
2021. I think.
It's hard to keep up with. Yes, originally 2020 was meant to be Adelaide. Adelaide got postponed, obviously, through the COVID-19 situation that we have avoided talking about as much as possible, but it has been a result of that, thus putting back Perth home championships, and I bet they cannot wait to see what a Perth Championships brings.
Correct. Hardwick with the quick drive across the top of the circle, unable to sink it, but Spiteri grabbing the strong rebound. And now the penalty shot on goal sinks for Victoria, taking it out to 19 goals the margin. WA just wanting to probably finish off this tournament nice and strong.
If you're WA's coach, you always want to see your team finish strongly, doing everything they can. They've put in a mighty effort, as we see 30 seconds to go. They can't be upset with today's result, despite the fact they will have lost. They've put in everything. They've given it any ounce of energy they've got left. They've had some great feeds, some great passages. Definitely a proud tournament for WA. Yeah,
definitely something and some results to be happy about for them. But this game is now wrapping up. Advantage call there as WA are out of play and able to finish this one off. And that does bring us to the end of this first semi-final between Victoria and Western Australia. Victoria taking it out 56 goals to 37. Matthew, do you want to have a little bit of a say on how Victoria did in the end of that match?
Victoria were able to push that out quite well. They had a couple of different options up their sleeve in terms of the way they played and the setups that they ran. overall reasonably consistent. Few mind lapses, and that is concerning going into tomorrow's game. That they need to reduce those mind lapses. They did enough to get through, and at the end of the day, that is all you need to do. Get through to that final. To give you every opportunity.
Agreed. Be in with a shot. And just in case you would like to know who they will play against, it does look like a similar margin out on the other court. That does mean it will be a Queensland-Victoria final in the under-23s. That game will be brought to you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I cannot wait to see this one. Queensland taking out the one during the week. Looking forward to the action tomorrow. Matthew, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Daniel. Always a pleasure.
No worries. My name is Dan Cook. Looking forward to seeing all the action in the 2022 AMMNA Men's and Mixed Netball National Grand Finals, starting off with the under-17s at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, moving through the rest of the day, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, wrapping up with the 23s, as you've just seen at 3. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow.
In sport, there are the elite, the ones who give their all for a place at the top. They are the ones who rise to the occasion.
The 2019 Men's Open Australian Championships.
This is exactly what we wanted, putting men's netball on the map.
There's so many people that have come before us. There's so many people that are going to come after us. But we're part of that foundation. You know, we're building it to be whatever it becomes.
You have to put your heart on the line, and you have to be a team person first.
That was not good enough to me, and you shouldn't accept it as good enough for you. Get on one-on-one.
Yeah, imagine a female then being told, well, sorry, you can't play AFL or you can't play cricket past this age. You'd certainly hear about it.
We continue to work so that no other 12-year-old boy has to hear that ever again.